and welcome to Shannon Reviews, where I just review stuff, and welcome back to part 2 of Knight Rider Month. Today is a day full of love, tragedy, and eventual heartbreak. This is the love story between Michael Knight and Stevie Mason. I have an unpopular opinion. I am not a big fan of the Michael and Stevie pairing. While I love Katherine Hickland as an actress, I think she's phenomenal. I am not too fond of the character she portrayed in the series, but I'll get to that later. This is called a trilogy because Stevie appears in 3 episodes throughout the series. So the first episode we're going to take a look at is Season 1's episode, Whitebird. The episode starts off with Stevie being fooled by her boss and getting arrested and is charged with conspiracy. Seriously, how could she not see that coming? The next day, Michael sees her name and picture in the local newspaper, and it triggers a memory. Michael bails her out, but Bonnie, Kit's technician, who also happens to have a crush on Michael, is feeling jealous. Michael explains to Bonnie that when he was Michael Long, he and Stevie were engaged to be married. And I think Bonnie's jealousy turned into a little bit of guilt because she didn't know, but what can you do? And this is the reason why this trilogy was so hard to do and why I'm not too fond of the Michael-Stevie pairing. Because Stevie represents a life that Michael can never have back. I mean, Michael Long is legally dead, so how can he go back to being Michael Long? It's hard, and Michael definitely had a hard decision to make. Then there's a montage with the title song playing in the background as Michael and Stevie create a romance, or in Michael's case, rekindling of a romance. But action ensues as Michael and Stevie figure out a plan to catch the bad guys. Didn't I mention that there were 2 false arrests against Stevie for solicitation? Michael wasn't too thrilled about that. So this episode ends with Stevie going into protective custody and Michael having tears in his eyes as he says goodbye, as he reminisces about his past life while simultaneously moving forward on to his new life. But as luck would have it, Michael would soon see Stevie again in Season 2's episode, Let It Be Me. In this episode, Michael investigates the death of Greg Noble, lead singer of the rock and roll band Class Action, only to discover the lead singer is his lost love Stevie Mason's, now Stevie March's boyfriend. He takes Noble's place in the band to protect Stevie and find the murderer. So Stevie at this point had a pretty good start to her new life. She had a new apartment, was in a band, and for a while it seemed that her new life was going well, except that her lead singing boyfriend is somehow mysteriously murdered. So, as you guys would have guessed, Michael goes undercover, has the villains temporarily fooled. There's a binary code that has to be translated that actually turns out to be a drug dealing schedule. The villains are caught, and once again, the day is saved by Michael and Kit. So Michael and Stevie, again for the 2nd time in a row, have a very tearful farewell. And the song Whitebird is played again as it played in the last episode. Sort of a theme going on here. And they say their goodbyes and off Stevie goes. Now, this last episode is it's definitely one of the hardest to watch. I thought Junkyard Dog in Season 3 was really hard to watch, but this episode is way worse. This is Season 4's episode entitled Scent of Roses. After almost dying on an assignment, Michael decides to leave the Foundation and marry Stevie. All seems well, except they are almost killed while at a retreat. The big day arrives, RC is the best man, Bonnie's the maid of honor, and Devin walks the beautiful bride down the aisle. This is the most difficult part of the episode. After the vows are said and the minister pronounces them husband and wife, Durant, the evil villain throughout this whole entire episode, comes in and, well, Durant fires the shot and Stevie comes in between her new husband and the bullet. As she dies in Michael's arms, she tells him to remember how much she loves him. At her funeral, Michael goes on a rampage, finds Durant, and almost beats him to a pulp when Kit stops him. So the episode ends. Michael is throwing rocks in a river and remembering Stevie and all the wonderful times they had together. He climbs back into Kit and tells him that they're heading home to the Foundation. And that's how the episode ends. This episode was originally supposed to be the series finale, but instead the series finale had to end with a voodoo witch. Yeah, Knight Rider and voodoo makes total sense. So, I'm Shannon, this is Shannon Reviews, and I hope you guys enjoyed the Michael and Stevie trilogy. Next week I'll be looking at another more interesting trilogy, The Villains. Bye!